says things during the course of interviews that should just scare people to death. During that ABC infomercial, asked the president a question on health care. Greta, I could not believe an American citizen stood up, a woman, and essentially asked Obama, look, my 100-year-old grandmother needed a pacemaker. And the first specialist said, no, she's 100 years old. I can't do anything more for her. Went to another specialist. Yeah, this woman's got a lot of spunk. I'll put the pacemaker in. She's now 105, living fine. This woman asked the President of the United States if, during your health care days, your health care plan, we're going to take into account somebody's spirit and love of life. And Obama essentially said, well, we're going to get to a point here where 100 years old, they'll be better off taking a pain pill. A citizen of the United States asking the president, are you going to not kill my mother? I can understand Fidel Castro being asked that question, or Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, or some of the other dictators, but I can't believe that these kind of questions are being asked of the President of the United States.
She's 105 now, over 105, but at 100, the doctor had said to her, I can't do anything more unless you have a pacemaker. I said go for it, she said go for it, but the arrhythmia specialist said, no, it's too old. Her doctor said, I'm going to make an appointment because a picture is worth 1,000 words. And when the other arrhythmia specialist saw her joy of life and so on, he said, I'm going for it. So that was over 5 years ago. My question to you is, outside the medical criteria for prolonging life for somebody who is elderly, is there any consideration that can be given for a certain spirit, a certain joy of living, quality of life, or is it just a medical cutoff at a certain age?
And we're not going to solve every difficult problem in terms of end-of-life care. A lot of that is going to have to be we as a culture and as a society starting to make better decisions within our own families and for ourselves. But what we can do is make sure that at least some of the waste that exists in the system that's not making anybody's mom better, that is loading up on additional tests or additional drugs that the evidence shows is not necessarily going to improve care, that at least we can let doctors know and your mom know that, you know what, maybe this isn't going to help. Maybe you're better off not having the surgery, but taking the painkiller.
Because it's not his decision who lives and dies in this country, but he wants it to be. And he wants it to be the prerogative of his party to determine who gets born and who doesn't, and who has end-of-life problems that are dealt with and not. This is hideous. This is not about health care. It's about control. It's about remaking the country, the economy. Proof of my point here that the joblessness is on purpose. If your number one signature issue is health care, and his is, and if, which is true, that health insurance is not portable when you lose your job, what's the best thing you can do for yourself? Create unemployment.
Think unemployment will reach 10%?
Yes.
You do this year?
Yes. I think that what you've seen is that the pace of job loss has slowed. And I think that the economy is going to turn around. But as you know, jobs are a lagging indicator. And we've got to produce 150,000 jobs every month just to keep pace, just to flat.
Think unemployment will reach 10%?
Yes. Maybe you're better off not having the surgery, but taking the painkiller.